Good evening, everybody. I hope you enjoy my new background. I've got some cool things going on behind me. But I just wanted to say hello and good evening. And to all of you watching out there, sorry we missed you last Thursday, but we are starting back up this Thursday and we'll have another guest next Thursday. So please tune in. Um, and today we're going to be focusing on moms. So if you are a mom that lives in McKinney, if you are a mom that's looking to relocate here to the area, this is going to be the show for you to watch. And we have a special guest for sure. And then also we have some other moms hopefully joining us a little bit later. But we're going to go ahead and get started because everyone's time is valuable. And the hard thing about being a mom is that you just don't have enough time. So we're very thankful that we have a guest for this evening. So the guest, this is Alice. And Alice, tell us a little bit about how long you have been and lived in McKinney, and then I'll go too.
Hi everyone. I've been in McKinney since April, beginning of April. I came here with my husband, my two boys, 5.5 and 2.5.
Wonderful. And so, for those of you that don't know, I have lived in McKinney just over 2 years now, and I was very pregnant. I was no 9 month, no 8 months pregnant with our baby when we moved to McKinney about 2 years ago, and so I have a 2 year old. And then, if you go in backwards order, I've got a 5 year old boy that just started kindergarten. I've got um, a first grader that is 7. I've got a um, third grader daughter. She is 8. And then I have a fifth grader, which is hard to believe. Max is the oldest and he is 10. So, um, but, uh, but Alice, so I wanted to talk with you a little bit about since you've um, been here a little bit. What have you enjoyed about McKinney so far that you've just experienced?
Um, what I really like is the convenience of where we live and where we have access to the schools for our kids. So we have daycare and we have the kindergarten, um, as well as all the grocery stores, easily accessible. My husband, he works at the hospital at Medical City of McKinney, so again, just 7 minutes away from home, which is awesome. I work from home, so it makes it easy for me. But I think overall, it's the feel that it's very family oriented. It feels very safe here, and yet it's big enough that there's still a lot of things to do. So if you go to downtown, the historic McKinney downtown, there's so many restaurants that are awesome. So we just really like that it's small, yet you have this feel of you don't feel like you're in the middle of nowhere, for example.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. Um, so I would say for us, it was we needed to be close, a little bit closer to grandparents that lived on the east side of town, even though we were, they still would have to drive kind of far north. It was still an easier trip north, if that makes sense. So we used to live on the other side of town, and the main highway that went north and south was Highway 35. And just living on that highway, I can tell you from experience that it's always under construction. There's always traffic in certain spots of that highway, and that's unavoidable, especially because I feel like that's a little bit well, 35 can take you straight to downtown. So can 75, but I feel like 75, you hit traffic every now and then, but it's just not as bad. And there's an HOV lane. I mean, 35 does have HOV, but I don't know, it's just not designed well. It's very crowded over there. And I feel like there's not as many things to do. You have to drive a little bit further. Like you have to drive 20 or 30 minutes to get to some really cool places. I feel like in North Dallas, which we're really fortunate to be so close to Frisco and Plano and um, Fairview, Allen. I mean, there's lots of things to do in those cities, on top of just what everything that McKinney has to offer.
Hmm.
So I'm going to pull up some questions. We're going to kind of go through some questions. So for those of you that are watching, if you could leave us a comment, and if you want to answer some of these questions, if you live in McKinney, let us know in the comments what you love most about the city that we're going to be talking about today. And before I jump into that, we do have a third guest. She was able to hop on, and she's got some little kids behind her. So this is Mari.
Hi.
So Mari, if you could tell everyone just a little bit about yourself, kids, how old they are, and how long you've lived in McKinney.
Okay. I have three kids. They are 6, 3, and 6 months. And we lived in McKinney since 2017, I believe.
Okay. So you have the most experience of all of us out of the group.
Really?
Yeah, I'm 2 years, and
Okay.
Alice
Okay.
Alice just moved here, so we're gonna be relying on you, Mari.
Uh-oh. No pressure.
No pressure, right? So let's kind of go through a couple of questions. We talked a little bit about what we enjoyed most about McKinney. What do you feel like is, I guess, why you really like the city of McKinney?
For me?
Yeah, for you.
One of the things that drew us there initially was the downtown. We were living in Plano initially, and we had gone over. We saw the trade days. We went on to our trade days and the downtown, and we knew we just wanted to live there. So, um, when we first moved there, we went to the trade days basically every month and just hang out. And the downtown area has a lot of good restaurants and nice things to do, family friendly. Just walk around. So that's our favorite thing.
Yeah, yeah. So let's kind of go in order. Where is your favorite place to eat that you found so far in McKinney? We'll stick with McKinney, and then we'll do some other spots that you really have found that you like, but they're not necessarily in McKinney, but they're close to it.
Okay.
So we'll start with, yeah, Mari, go ahead. You go ahead and
Okay.
start it off. We'll go back to the other.
um, Off the top of my head, we have really like spoons
Okay.
downtown as a family, very family friendly. And also the awesome Asian buffet that opened close to our house, um, which I don't know if it's they're operating right now. They probably are, but just really good food.
So you said it's an Asian buffet. What is it? Is it called Asian buffet or something
I
different?
think it is. It's like the same family as a King Buffet in Plano, I
Okay.
believe. Hmm.
Okay. And it's in McKinney?
Yeah, it's what road
Where?
is this?
Yeah, what's it off of?
Um, just off of 75,
Okay.
and I think it's Greenwood or so. There's a car dealership right around there.
Okay.
I
We'll have
didn't
to look
explain
out for
that
it.
well, but yeah.
What about you, Alice?
We really like layered at the in downtown McKinney,
Ooh.
and it's awesome for brunch. In fact, the first time we came and we met with you, remember to go house hunting. That's where
Yeah.
me and my husband went for brunch, and then we were just like,
Oh.
"This is awesome," and it's also the place where we discovered breves, the coffee, because we never had that before, and it was amazing. So in McKinney, I think that's probably our favorite place. We will always, when families have come to visit, we just take them there. So yeah, I would say that's our number one, even though we like a lot of other places, but I think that's the one.
That's the one. That's number one. All right. For me, it would have to be Hutchins Barbecue. They they had a fire not too long ago, and they just reopened. I think it was the 31st, so Monday or Tuesday. They just reopened that location in downtown, or yeah, it's close to downtown McKinney, but I think it's on the east side, close to where they're trying to do a lot of revitalization at the square. So they just reopened that location in McKinney, and their barbecue is it's you have to go because it's not like any other barbecue that you'll taste around DFW. They've won all kinds of awards and everything, but we keep going back. Even we just keep going back because it just tastes so good. It's something that they how they smoke it, but and all the spices that they use, it's really good. What about other restaurants around DFW that you feel like are your favorite? You're like, I'm gonna go here over and over again. We'll start with you, Mari.
Um, I really like Gloria's. Right now, it's just not. It's a shame, but I've been often to the one in is it around Allen. Um, I don't know. There's so many. There's so many that we like. I'm Puerto Rican, so I like that there are Latin food options in the area.
Yeah, and Gloria's is Salvadorian, so
Yeah. It's fairly similar dishes to Puerto Rican, some
oh
of
okay,
them. So yeah, I have enjoyed that.
yeah. What about you, Alice?
This is place that my manager actually recommended. It's in Plano, and I can't remember the name. It's a Thai restaurant in
Oh,
the yeah. So it's right in the shops of like Legacy, that
Legacy.
oh,
area.
okay.
Yeah, that one Thai place. I can't remember what it is, but it's just like super authentic. It's delicious. So
Ooh.
I already been there 3 times since April.
So
Sounds
I
good.
really like this. I guess it's not a hole in the wall, but it's in a shopping center that let's just say it's in a shopping center that's not doing as well. This one's in McKinney too. My husband and I really like Mediterranean food, and so this one, the spices that he used, a friend of mine kind of turned me on to it. But it's called Blue Olive Grill,
Oh
and it
yes,
it's yeah, yeah, Martin.
I've
So
been
Blue
there.
Olive Grill, and the only reason that Mari and I probably know about it is because our friend Liana is the one that introduced us to it. She introduced me to it. She probably introduced you to, but it so that place I could go. I could probably eat there every day and get the same thing, and it would just be amazing. And then the other place is if I can't get into Blue Olive in time because they do close pretty early in the evenings. And if they run out of food, like they're not taking any more orders. So I will go to, I've had really good food at Platia Greek Cuisina. It's over in Frisco. Um, I guess it's kind of close to the Star ish. It's not really like in that area, but that's what I would say for that one. Now my phone went. Sorry. Okay. What about places to hang out with the family? What are some of your favorite places to hang out with the family, Mari?
Um, Usually outdoor stuff for me. I have boys that are very active, so like I said in the beginning, the trade days had been a good thing to go to. Has food and just you can just spend a few hours there. Um, Other than that, there's plenty of parks around that have things for all ages, for little ones and also bigger ones. My husband is a bike rider, so he has enjoyed going through the trails as well. So those are kinds of the outdoorsy things that we like to do.
What about you, Alice?
Yeah, we like to do outdoor stuff too. until they started to get too hot.
Yeah.
But
Right.
the Herd Museum at the park is really nice. So we like that, and we want to go back again because of the dinosaur exhibit that's
Mhm.
starting really, I think, this month.
Yes.
So we'll try to go when it's colder. I would never thought I would say that. We moved from Minneapolis, and now we want to go
Oh.
when it's colder. um, but yeah, otherwise, same thing, right? We try to find a new park because we're still discovering. So just trying to see where something fun, some place fun to go to. Um, but yeah, we also really like the botanical garden down, close to downtown. It's really
Oh,
big.
the Arboretum.
Yeah, the
Is it the
arboretum.
Dallas
Yeah.
Arboretum?
Mhm.
I
It's
like
just
that
so
too.
big and it's just really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really pretty over there. I agree. I agree.
Mhm.
I think for us, we really enjoy our time, especially in the summertime, at the Apex. I know that we just had a birthday party out there. That was where you met us for the birthday party, Alice.
Mhm.
So we
Yes, it
enjoy
was
that
fun.
outside pool at the Apex, and I can tell you that we were there for 7 hours, and even though we were exhausted, we we still had a good time, and the kids had a good time, and they could stay, like, they didn't complain at all. And when it was time to leave, so we're gonna try to. I think the outside pool closes after Labor Day weekend, so we're gonna make sure that we make a point to go sometime at some point this weekend. One more last swim before the end of quote unquote summer,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
even though it's still going to be hot until the end of October probably. So, which is weird to me, but that is kind of what it is. Um, what about date night spots? Where are some good date night spots that you have found, Mari?
Well, those have been a little infrequent with the
Uh-oh.
pandemic and new baby and such.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I'm not sure, honestly. I'm just gonna go say downtown again because that's like my go-to. You can get whatever different types of foods and like more casual and
Mhm.
a little bit more fancy. So, uh, not one in specific that I can think of right now. Sorry,
Okay.
that's my kids over there.
You're good. What about you, Alice? Have you found
Yeah,
some
same
cool
thing.
spots?
Yeah, downtown McKinney has so many things to offer. You really don't have to go anywhere if you don't want to. But we've also enjoyed going to Uptown area, close to the just north of downtown, and it's actually
What is
really
it?
nice too.
What did you say? You
Uptown.
kind of cut out. Oh, Uptown.
Oh.
Mhm.
Oh, like
Yeah.
north of
So.
downtown,
Mhm.
Dallas. Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. So we went there again that trip when we came house hunting, and so we could do anything we wanted. We went to a Japanese restaurant there. It was just nice, right? Just to hang out. Everybody's out there just having a good time. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a good area too. Um, so I'm gonna kind of piggyback a little bit off of Mari's. I would say that for me, my favorite, at least my favorite. I don't know if it's my husband's. Um,
Mhm.
my favorite spot to go on a date night is actually it is downtown McKinney, but I like to go to the Comedy Arena. It's they've had I really like their shows that they have. They do a lot of improv there on certain nights, and it's very fun. It's very interactive with the audience too. And I volunteered a couple of times to go up on the stage and say, something silly or, that kind of thing. And they're always good, like people, good sports, and everyone's just having a good time. They have drinks and food there that they offer if you want to, you know, get a snack to eat or whatever while you're watching the show. But it's very, very entertaining to see what they come up with. And I do feel like it's a cleaner comedy. I'm not a huge fan of like the raunchy or the, dirty kind of humor. I'd much rather, like, I feel like it's more clever to exclude that out of the comedy show. So they do, there are a couple of parts that are just like, yeah, a little bit like questionable, but For the most part, it's usually really well balanced, and they probably keep it. If I had to explain, they keep the comedy shows about PG-13 for the most part. I think they do have more, I guess, R-rated comedy that they advertise. I'm sure you'd have to look on their website to be sure, but we really love going to the comedy club over in downtown. So McKinney, that's my favorite spot.
Yeah, there's also a few good movie theaters with the recliner, love seats, and the dinner and the drinks.
Yeah,
So that's a good one too.
yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, let's talk about daycares. So for all the moms that are thinking about relocating and they've got little kids, and this could be even, places that you've seen before COVID too that you really like, that you had a good experience with. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the city of McKinney as long as it's close to McKinney. Um, so what would you say as far as daycare experiences? Do you have any um, daycare experiences you want to share with the audience?
We
Um,
really loved Heritage Learning Center in Virginia Parkway. They take kids from 18 months, so no babies, but
Okay.
all the way to like kindergarten, I believe. They do like a preschool.
Yeah.
And I've had two of my kids there, and it has been wonderful. We love the teachers, the director. They have on the summers they have a splash pad in there, so they have those days of water activities when it's hot out, and
That's
it's
nice.
just a nice area. They have enough like outside play, and just it's just a good place. We really loved it.
Hmm. He said they like it.
Yeah.
aw.
So it's called
Um,
Heritage. What is it called?
Learning center.
Heritage Learning Center, and it's in McKinney or
Yeah,
Virginia. Okay.
Virginia Parkway.
Okay. All right. What about you, Alice? Any good experiences so far with daycares?
yeah. So we have both our kids at the Primrose on El Dorado. It's
Okay.
only 2 minutes away from work, so from home, so that's one of the reasons.
Hmm.
We were, I know back when we were looking, we had this entire list of all these daycares we're gonna call, and Heritage Learning Center was actually one of them as well. Um, but we ended up going to the Primrose, and yeah, so far so good. The kids enjoy it. They're making friends. They seem to be growing and learning a lot. Yeah, no issues.
That's good. So Primrose off of where is it?
El
What are the two names?
Dorado.
El Dorado. Okay.
El Dorado and Hardin. Yep, yep. Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, that is right by your house. Close to it. Um,
I can a little walk there if I need to.
so for us, I would say pre-COVID, we had a really good experience with oh, what was it? It was in Plano. It's called the Arc Preschool. Gosh, this is terrible. But it's a part of I guess it's Elizabeth Ann Seton, I think, in Plano. Um, the Arc Adventure is the name of it, but it was in Plano, and I remember touring that one because I toured a couple of different daycares when we relocated across town, and I really liked that preschool, and JoJo went through that whole thing. For I think he was the pre-K 3 group is what he did with them, and lots of they had I think Spanish and music. So they had some like extracurriculars in addition to your, math and, science and English and, like just the reading, them reading stories and that kind of thing. They had parties and stuff. And I did like that it was faith based. So that was an added kind of thing for that specific daycare that that was one of the reasons that we chose that specific daycare. So we really liked the Arc Adventure in Plano, and we still haven't quite got settled in with post COVID stuff just yet, just because it's been difficult because we had our daughter in a preschool and she's 2, and then she got a runny nose and a cough, and because she's 2, it's like she doesn't, there's no sense of coughing into your arm, or she's just coughing over everything, coughing in my face, right? Because she's 2, she doesn't know. So just we had to take her out of school, and then we had to wait for the symptoms it was just too much for us to like have to take her out, and she was only going 2 days a week, and then she'd have to go to the doctor to make sure it wasn't anything else before we sent her back. So we just thought it was too much for something that we were paying for, and so we decided to kind of take her out. But that's more or less just, it's not because of the school, because we would totally take her back to the school any day. It's just more or less just COVID issues. Just even with my kids that are in the public school system right now in McKinney, if there's any indication that they've got a cough or a runny nose or any of the symptoms, and they're sent to the nurse and the nurse flags it, then they have to go stay home, and then have a negative COVID test before they go back to school. So just trying to juggle that with all 5 kids, it's been difficult. So if, for her going 2 days a week, it just didn't make whole lot of sense if we're paying $250 a month, and if she misses like 2 weeks because she's sick, then it just doesn't make sense. But other than that, it's been good. So Mari, you said how old were your kids again?
6, 3, and 6 months.
Okay, so your 6-year-olds, where are they going to school?
He's going in Dallas because I'm working in Dallas. So he's going to Catholic school in Dallas in Oak Lawn.
Okay. What's
Holy
the name
Trinity.
of it? Oh, Holy Trinity. Okay. And you said that's where you work?
Close.
Close to Holy Trinity. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then Alice, you have your 5-year-old, right? He just
Yeah,
started
he's
kindergarten?
here at the Valley Creek Elementary.
Okay. And how has Valley Creek, how has that experience been so far?
It's been great. So I think it's very convenient because it's very close to our home, literally another 5 minutes away.
Uh-huh.
But the teachers have been very nice. They have a good system for, rewarding for good behaviors, things like that. Communications, I think with teachers has been good, which is important because sometimes we don't know what's happening. It's not like with the private daycares where they send you, pictures of your kid all day. So,
Yeah.
and it's hard to extract from your kid, like, what did you do today? They can't really express it as well.
Yeah.
So just kind of being able to communicate with the teacher, I think that's good. And they have good enrichment programs like music, PE. So he enjoys that a lot. We also have after school programs too. So if
Oh,
you need the kid to stay longer, they can do that. We actually chose to have Tate go back to Primrose after school is over because they
yeah.
offer bus service. So it makes it
Oh,
very convenient. And then we pick up both kids at the same
both.
time at the Primrose daycare. Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, that does make it really convenient. Cool.
Mhm.
For the 4 that are in school right now, they're over at McGowan Elementary, and we kind of had we had to learn the COVID procedures early on because my oldest got a cough from church camp, and we weren't really sure what it was, until we had to get them all COVID tested, all 4 of them, just to make sure, and they all missed, I think, the first like couple of days of school, that like half week, and then they started school on Tuesday. Mari's shaking her head. um, and the nurse was like, "You're not. Why aren't you? Like she's like, you're so nice. You're not yelling at me and all this." I said, "Well, it's not your fault. I mean, that's just the policy that you have in place to keep everybody safe. So I'm okay with that." It's just it's hard to get COVID testing. I feel like here in McKinney, usually you have to go 2 or 3 days like scheduling it out. So that's been difficult. And I know that other parents have said that it's been difficult to get, that free testing done unless you want to pay and shell out to an urgent care to get something like that done. So we experienced that at the beginning of school. All the teachers have been amazing, very communicative. We did get to go to meet the teacher before things kind of went south with the symptoms and stuff. um, and we haven't had any other. Usually we do a check of everyone's folder. Do you have your mask? Do you have your folder? Do you have your water bottle? Like right before we head out the door. Lunches are provided, and I'm guessing it's a camp, not a campus wide, it's a district wide thing to where you can either get free breakfast or free lunch at the school. um, and that's for all of McKinney ISD, regardless of which campus you go to. I think all of the snacks and stuff you can get. They're kind of a la carte. That's what you would be charged for if your kid got something else. But we had to explain to our kids, like, you get your main meal and you get a fruit and a vegetable. So we'll see if there's any charges because I've got a 5-year-old, so I don't know. But yes, really good experience. So far, off to a good start for the school year. And I know that they've got all types of there's a art thing that my daughter wants to enter in already. And then they're also, if the kids are a certain age, they're already saying if your kid wants to be in choir, they can do that kind of thing too. So lots of opportunities for little kids, and they're all free. You just have to drop them off and pick them up, which is nice. Um, and then what else? So we were going to talk about schools and daycares. What about, let's see, things you don't. What are some things in McKinney that you wish McKinney had that they don't have right now?
I know. A
Okay.
Target.
A Target.
They don't?
Yeah, we have a Target.
Oh yeah. Oh wait. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's like the it's like yeah. It's yeah. I remember now.
It's on the north side. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. I was like, it's the north side. It's too far from me. I
Is
was
there
That
a
is the
right there,
answer.
Costco?
5 minutes away.
It's further from you. They need a Target in the south part of McKinney.
Yes.
Is that what
Yes.
okay?
Right next to me.
Yes.
Mm,
I would have said that
mm.
about Costco, but isn't there a Costco at
There
380
is.
here?
Yeah,
Yep.
there is.
There is.
Well, I guess McKinney has everything now.
It does. It does have everything.
It needs an HEB.
Okay.
What's that?
HEB. But they
A
are getting one
grocery
in
store.
Frisco. Yeah, it's a big grocery store that they have. It's a it's like the grocery store version of Whole Foods, but it's I don't know. To me, it's like it's hard to explain. So there's a lot of like local farmers, local vendors that they have as a part. I guess it's kind of similar. Has parts of Aldi to it because Aldi has like different brands of things. From I don't know if you go to Aldi. I just know I don't even go to Aldi, but I just know that they have. So like they'll have like local beers, local wine in the store itself. Anything that's local will probably be you can find it in HEB, and then a lot of the meats and the produce and all of that stuff is. I think they try to get that even as local as possible for those items, but to me, it's a big cost savings. Whenever there was one in so when I went to school at A&M, they had one in College Station, and I would always want to go to HEB. It's so big, and they've got stuff that nobody else has. We'll just put it that way. Like for example, a friend of mine, you can buy like tortilla dough that's already flattened out and in a circle, and then to heat it up, you just put it in the pan and it fluffs up into a nice fluffy fresh tortilla. So that's just one example. So for those of you that don't know what HEB is, and then also I think they're going to build one in Frisco. They have plans to build one in Frisco, and it's going to be between the McKinney Frisco border off of Custer. So it's going to be McKinney-ish, but not exactly in McKinney. What about,
Good
you
enough.
know, I mean, I'm sure there are things that you miss from Minnesota, right? No.
Mhm.
What are some things that
Uh,
Minnesota had that are not here in McKinney that you wish?
well, we had a lot of lakes. So it was really nice when you went biking around the lake or even for a walk and or running, whatever. So that.
Mhm.
If you talk about stores again, I think we had that we call co-ops. So it sounds very similar to HEB, but essentially, like you say, it's very local produce, etc. Very affordable too. So it was nice. But no, I mean, actually, McKinney has everything. Yeah, I don't know that there's something. The additional good thing that McKinney has that Minnesota didn't is that you could actually buy alcohol at the grocery stores versus in Minnesota, you had to go a separate liquor store.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the one thing that so there's no hard liquor though. I don't think at the grocery stores here, right?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't
I don't
looked at
think
that.
they sell like
We just get
tequila or
wine or
whiskey.
beer.
Yeah, wine or beer for sure
We're
is the grocery.
good.
But if you want to make your own margaritas, then you have to go to the liquor store to get the
No,
tequila.
yeah, you just go to Rebecca's house.
Okay. Which is conveniently located close to yours. Oh my goodness. Let's see what else we're gonna do. So what are some things that you feel like you don't like as much about McKinney? Like what are some cons to living in McKinney? If you had to think of any negative things.
Um, Sorry, I'm having a bit of a coffee fit here.
It's okay.
Um, Maybe, I mean, it is a little bit further from downtown, right? So, it does take over 30 minutes sometimes to get down there.
Mhm.
So when my family visited, we kept saying, okay, the next weekend we'll go to downtown or
Mhm.
we'll go tomorrow. And then we never made it. So they still haven't seen downtown Dallas.
Okay.
That would be the only thing I'd say. Maybe, I don't know, it's a little bit further. But other than
Yeah.
that, I mean, again, pretty good.
Yeah, I would say something like that. If you're working downtown, then it's
Mm,
not, I mean, you can commute. It's not
yeah.
ideal, but take like an hour or so with rush hour.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, especially during rush hour. The closer you get, I feel like it's not as once you get down to Plano, that's where the traffic starts. And then once you go through Garland and get closer to downtown, that's more or less where the traffic starts to pick up. So, yeah, I would agree with that statement. But if you're not traveling during rush hour, then it's pretty clear. It's pretty smooth sailing. The other thing too, I would say is that Highway 380, speaking of traffic, Highway 380 does really get backlogged quite a bit when you're like, because it's right by my office and right around 5 o'clock. And I'm sure right
Yeah.
now, if I were to go over there, it would just be lots and lots of cars because it's the connection between Denton and McKinney, the two cities. And so it's always congested because if you live, just north of 380, 380 is the only really way to get in or out of those towns or communities. So it makes it a little bit more difficult to, especially the closer you get to major highways like 75, and even sometimes getting to the Dallas North Tollway, it can get a little bit congested once you go past Prosper. Um, that's a little, and the other thing too, I guess pre-COVID, and I'm sure it'll be post-COVID eventually. But if you ever go to downtown McKinney and it's a Friday night or there's some sort of Oktoberfest going on, especially if there's Oktoberfest and they have to shut down streets and stuff. Parking is just awful. I know they're trying to fix that, but it's you have to you're going to be probably 15 minutes trying to find a parking spot. Now I will say they did add the garage that's in downtown McKinney, so that's helped a little bit, but especially if it's like an event like the Christmas lighting of the Christmas tree or anything like that, expect to have to wait and to park anywhere, or you have to park kind of far away and just make sure you're not parking in a spot where you could get towed. But yeah, just knowing where to park to is difficult, and getting places early, if you ever have to go to downtown. That would be my advice for that. The other thing I would say about McKinney, if I had to pick a negative, would be, I guess, the lack of indoor spaces to do things because it does get really hot in the summertime. And so it would be nice to have more like indoor pools or indoor activities, to offer people that are living here or that are relocating here. Just because it can get really hot. And so the only way to cool off is to have a pool or go to a splash pad or um, do that kind of thing, or just go really early in the morning on your bike ride. But but even then it's like 78, first thing in the morning. So it's not really
Yeah.
cool at night or cool in the evening. Um, so I guess that would be my only other real complaint. But the convenience thing is really nice because you are conveniently located close to a lot of things and a lot of places. Um, let's see, what else do we have? Let's see. So, since you've lived in McKinney or since you've been here, what are some ways that you have connected with either other moms, other families, other what are some other resources that are out there that are available for moms in the city that you know about or you could.
So there's Facebook groups like McKinney Moms and Instagram groups as well that you can find. And for me, it was also through church, that I could get a mom's group and meet other people with kids with similar ages.
You said I know you said the Facebook groups and then you said the church
Instagram,
and then Instagram. What's
yeah,
on Instagram? Tell me. I want to know.
it's the same. I follow City of Mckinney on Instagram, and they have all kinds of activities and stuff they put in there. I can't
Okay.
remember right now if there's a specific moms group for McKinney, but I'm sure there is.
On Instagram too?
Yeah,
Okay.
probably.
I don't know
Yeah.
if Instagram had groups. That's why I'm asking.
Well, not groups, but like a
Oh,
page of
events.
a similar interest that you can follow,
Okay.
and then people can post and comment and such.
Okay. 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 I like that. What about you, Alice? Any
Yeah,
resources?
I've so when I first joined, when I first arrived, I joined the Nextdoor app um
Okay.
for my neighborhood, and so just people kind of meeting people through chatting about different topics or things like that. But I think mostly just through their school, the other friends' moms, etc. Yeah.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
It's just
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little bit harder because I mean I'm just home all day because I work from home, so
Yeah.
I don't the only time I go out now is when I go to my Pilates class. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really do a lot.
Do you meet other moms at the Pilates class though?
Yep, yep. There's all the moms there who go try to go like lunchtime or something, still an hour here and there. Um, but yeah, yeah.
So what gym? Where's your gym?
It's called
Where you
Club
do?
Pilates. It's on
Okay.
University. No, Hardin and University. It's kind of a
Okay.
newer development area, right by the Costco, actually.
Okay. Yeah. 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 I know
Yeah.
where that is.
So yep. So it's nice. Just something I just wanted to try because haven't done that before. Usually, in Minneapolis, I would just go to yoga, or bar
Okay.
class because it was again conveniently located.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, just trying something else.
Yeah. Because you don't really have like work friend, or do you have? I'm sure that are there people from your work that are in McKinney too, or in DFW, or
Yes, yes. They
okay.
are more in the Plano, and Grapevine.
Okay.
So not exactly next door. My manager happens to be 4 minutes away from here. Not intentional, but yes, he's in McKinney. So yeah, because from a work standpoint, we have not started going back to work officially. Well, we were supposed to start in July, and then they postponed it because of the situation. So I did go into the office, which is in Carrollton,
Okay.
like 3 times, and met a bunch of people for the first time.
Yeah.
Like everybody was always on screen, so it was kind of funny. But yeah, so it was great just to hang out. But now it's again, stay at home until likely late October or something.
Okay. And how long are you going to swim in your pool until late October?
Well, I guess until it's too cold, because we're not gonna turn on the heat, I don't think there.
No.
But yeah, so yeah, probably until whenever it's just too cold.
Yeah. When we start getting that cold weather from Canada, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
Those cold fronts. I would say for gosh, what was the question again? Resources. The McKinney Moms Group for sure. That's a really good resource. It's a good way to meet other moms in the area. That's how I met Alex. She was going to join us today, but she owns the Cinnaholic in McKinney, and she was going to join us. And I'm really bummed that she didn't get to join us, but she was going to join us today. So I met Alex through that specific group because she was doing some things, and then there's some other mom. I mean, there's some great. I'll just say mompreneurs or entrepreneurs, mamapreneurs, I guess moms that are entrepreneurs in that group that are just they're so inspiring and so good to meet other moms that way. So I gravitate towards those moms because I have a business and they have a business, and usually I get inspiration more from them than anything. The other resource that I would point people to, I know Mari mentioned her church. She meets other moms there. I've met some other moms at the gym that we go to, the Apex Center. So that's a great place, especially I like the Zumba classes. Even though the Zumba instructor there, she's really sweet, but it's just so advanced, I guess, for me now. I feel like I'm an old person. I don't know. When I go do Zumba now. But I've met some really nice people there at the Apex, or even just families too, swimming around in the pool. And just talking with other moms in the area is really nice. And everyone's been great there. I'm trying to think of some other places where would be nice strategic places to meet other people or other moms. Um, I guess just any people that you meet out in the park that are playing with your kids, that would be a good place. And then also, I think just even in your general neighborhood, getting to know your neighbors is always super important. And so I'm sure you see many families walking in the evenings when it starts to get really cool outside. And that would be a great place um, to meet other families, just those that are already there in your neighborhood. And also, too, I'm going to be more involved at the school this year, since I'll have four in elementary school. So I plan to be pretty involved, as well as my husband up there. He's going to be a watchdog. So he's going to get to meet other dads. And then I'm going to be volunteering there at McGowan this year as much as I can, just to support the school, and hoping to meet, I'm sure, other moms and other families of, classmates and that kind of thing too. So that'll also be great and fun. That's a great place to meet other families and other people that live close by. Yeah, I didn't know about the Instagram thing. That's a good resource, Mari. So thank you for that. And if you know of if you have any other ideas, and you're watching me, I see three eyeballs there. So if you are watching and you have a suggestion, just type it in the chat, and we'll make sure to feature your comment on the show. But we are wrapping things up, since we started a little bit later than we had intended. But and hopefully we'll get to do this again, maybe with some more moms, so that way you can know what it's really like living in a certain place, whether that be McKinney, Frisco, North Dallas. We may just do a whole bunch of North Dallas moms in the future. But we are excited to be here with you guys tonight. And it looks like our 3 people, we thank you for watching, and we're all going to wave goodbye to our friends from afar, and we'll see you on the next video.